So this crypt it's got to be one of the saddest stories or saddest shape of the entire Lone Fir metro operation. This has been here for 20 years plus. Efforts are underway to restore the tomb for 20 years plus. Two trailblazers in the Oregon beer industry. These guys deserve some proper respect. I mean, these were Oregon beer bottlers. Brothers George Michael Bottler and George Frederick Bottler. God bless you. Immigrating from Germany, the brothers worked as barrel makers in Indiana. But talk about tales of the crypt. This is the saddest. My God. I mean, we're going to be haunted by these Bottler brothers. We have neglected them in the worst possible way. Some of it's vandalism. Of course, some of it's vandalism. Now, these little guys here, there's some story. I think they actually got wrapped up in the fencing to secure it or try to secure it. I don't think they're actually connected to the Bottler Crypt. And look at this. See, somebody has knocked it over. You get these punks that come in here and disrespect the undead. And bad things happen to people that do that. So don't do that. Don't come here to Lone Fir and disrespect the undead. I don't like that. There's the firefighter section there. But, this crypt, I got to show the back end because it's just stunning. Stunning. This is why bad things are happening to us. We're being haunted, man. Look at that. The whole back end. I don't know if that's a squirrel's nest or a rat's nest. All these billions of dollars Metro's got. They can't maintain the beer brothers, the Bottler brothers. See that? I mean, I don't even know what maintain means. And sometimes the spirit world doesn't like it when you renovate. In fact, none of the spirit world likes it when you renovate. That's why a lot of people get haunted in renovations of old homes. You kind of waken people up and then you piss them off. Then they come back and fuck up your psychological operations. Speaking of that, all of this along through here is right out of the Poltergeist too. All of those homes are on top of graves, or what was once graves. I'm not kidding you. So not only are you buying real estate right next to a graveyard, I mean, who does that? But they did. But it's actually, that was an extension. And I've also heard and seen pictures to the Central Catholic girls, or it's not girls, that's St. Mary's downtown. Central Catholic High School is right over here, and the graveyard at one point actually went underneath what's now that school. That's my information. That was my intel gathering, but you know, you don't want to mess. The other story, now that we're talking about spooks and poltergeists and the haunting of Lone Fir, people that fuck with Lone Fir end up having a lot of severe mental health trauma problems. But what's really important about that is many of these bodies, the old historical, this is the oldest cemetery in the area, by the way. This is the old historical pioneer. They planted all these trees, there's thousands of trees, and turned it into an arboretum. But this is history. This is Portland history. You got a lot of Freemasons here that built Portland. You don't want to upset Freemasons, especially when they're undead, right? But their bodies were buried downtown. And when the river, this was before the seawall was built downtown Portland, the river would rise and flood probably every year or close to it, and would flood out downtown. You can see all the old black and whites. You go down to the Oregon Historical Society and you can see all these black and whites of Portland flooded, severely flooded. I mean, devastating, total wipeout of all business and everything. So what they did is they pulled those bodies from downtown, they yanked them up and dropped them in here into higher ground. This is kind of up on a little knoll here. It's a part of why it was chosen. is because the flooding would happen in downtown Portland, and the bodies were popping up. Like, "Oh brother, where art thou?" You ever seen that movie? Like the coffins would pop up out of the ground and start floating away. That was actually a scene in downtown Portland in real life. Dead bodies were popping up downtown. And you don't want to have that. That creates a lot of spiritual unrest. A lot of spiritual unrest. I gotta go talk to this guy over here. He's with the retired firefighter. And this right here is the Portland firefighter section and history. And I wanted to ask him to tell a story. He's got a lot of history. So anyway, there's the Bottler Crypt. It needs to be repaired. Hopefully there's no deaths in the renovation or repairing of it. I mean that. All right, peace out.